You should use a condom before you listen.
The American dream is dead.
John Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew Bennett, Beaver Kool-Aid.
Well, I was like, we could have already done a show by now.
I feel like we did.
Yeah, we're done.
Most of the shit that I don't record should be part of the show.
No, we just we're hanging out, getting to know each other. We haven't talked in a week.
Well, that's what Beaver Kool-Aid's about. It's kind of like
Lloyd
David.
is like, let's go,
David.
Come on, baby.
David Letterman doesn't talk to his guests before he interviews them, so it's kind of like you don't want to blow it all before you cut the mic on.
Well, sometimes I think he should, but that's me.
You can't take, that's 2018. You can't take the bit that we gave or before we start the show and copy and paste that into the show.
No.
You can't do that?
way.
Well, that's what I've been doing for the past weeks, but I figured we'd try to do it legit.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, I just like to slowly ease into things. I mean, you don't like any foreplay. You like just to get down to business. I'm not like that. Takes me
John
longer.
needs a dinner and stuff like that first.
Right.
You know, how about deferring to your elders a little bit, Lloyd?
Yeah,
Let
I
me
know.
get going. Let me be fully lubricated.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start with the first thing. Have you guys ever been ghosted before? Where you just, you're talking to somebody and then all of a sudden they just stop talking to you?
Dude, I've been on Match.com for over 3 years. Are you kidding?
No, I'm talking about somebody you've known for a while.
No, I haven't done that. But I've been ghosted by people I haven't known for a while.
And maybe it's a situation, right? That prompts the ghosting. But I don't understand how people do that. And I'm embarrassed to say that I have done that, right? Where I had a buddy and then I ghosted the guy.
So a guy, not a girl,
It's a regret that I've had, I always feel like I just don't want to hang out with him. But I've always felt like an asshole and I don't have a reason, I guess, is the reason I ghosted him. Because I don't want to sit him down and go, hey man, I just don't like you.
Well, at least now he knows that he doesn't like you either.
That's fine.
Because of that, because you're a person capable of doing that to someone who actually offered you genuine friendship and affection.
Friendship.
What?
Yeah, and it makes me feel like shit.
Yeah.
It always has. I should call that guy. You know what, Patrick? If you ever download this podcast, I'm sorry, man. I'll call you personally about it.
Anyway,
I just think that
now he doesn't have to waste his time. He can concentrate on people who are true friends.
he was a jock here in Austin years ago. And he's a great guy. He's funny and everything. And it's like, he's not a bad guy at all.
Well, then what's your problem?
Yeah.
I don't know, John. I really don't, man. I don't know. It was just a feeling. I have no idea. I can't even tell you why I did it.
I have people that have reached out to me on Facebook, and I've kind of delayed making contact with them. And then I realize years have passed. And I think, you know what? If I wanted to get in contact with them, I would have done it over the past 35 years. Does that make sense?
Totally does.
Yeah, but have you had like a friend that you've had?
No, I wouldn't do that to a friend because I'm a friend.
Yeah.
I don't know why you dicked him, man. Was he partying too much, or was it just got tired of him, or what?
I'm getting repaid because I have a friend who dropped me, who dumped me.
Yeah.
And it's all right. But it's karma coming back to me, man.
There's a lot of rejection there. It's like, hey, what did I do? Well, am I that bad of a person? This person doesn't want to be around me anymore?
I think really it's okay if you don't want to hang out with somebody, but maybe you should have the conversation.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to ghost somebody. When you ghost, you just totally fall off the planet, right?
Yeah.
You go away.
Do you think it's worse to do it to a girl or a guy, or it doesn't matter?
I don't think it matters. I mean, whatever it is.
You ghost.
Friendship that goes so.
Yeah.
Well, in online dating, it really is awful because you could maybe had a couple of good conversations with somebody and you're thinking, all right, maybe we can get together, and then nothing.
But that's
totally
easy because
gone.
you just met somebody. You know what I mean? You just met that person.
You haven't even met them yet, but you think everything's going fine, and then they ghost you. They're gone.
Yeah, it's shitty. But they don't owe you anything. I mean, if you've known somebody for 3, 4, 5 years and then it happens, what the fuck is that, man?
Yeah, well, it makes it even worse, and you're a perpetrator. How does that feel?
That's true.
Well, it happened to me, and then I was looking back on when I had done it to somebody else. And I just...
karma.
So you've had it done to you recently as well.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But at least you're not a serial ghoster, feigning friendship for years just so that you can ignore someone.
Yeah.
It's your way of getting back at the human race.
I've kind of ghosted my ex-wives. I have no conversation with them. I mean, Lisle, do you talk to your...
Well, for you, it's ghosting. For them, it's celebratory.
Right. Absolutely. That is true.
So
They're just happy
I just
you're
talked to
not
my
around.
first wife last night,
Really?
as a matter of fact.
Kind of funny. So did I.
I thought you just said they ghosted you.
No, I was talking to your ex-wife. Your first.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And you're
Have
supposed
at
to
it,
say,
dude.
have at it,
Don't you
baby.
think
Have
that
at
it
it.
should be a conversation that you might maybe should have? I mean, isn't that the most adult thing to do?
Right. It is.
Or is ghosting like the norm? Is it okay?
No, I think it
Yeah.
just shows where we are. We've devolved socially.
We have definitely devolved socially.
And since
I think
most
it
of
shows that-
your social contact these days seems to be electronic, that's exactly what we've done.
And I see girls who complain, and guys too, like, man, I can't believe my girlfriend or whatever just broke up with me by sending me a text. Like, how shitty is that? Now, I'm sure I don't think they're our age maybe, but still, that seems to be kind of the common thread here. It's like, well, you don't have to call them anymore. You just send them a text like, well, I'm kind of done.
I'm moving on.
Yeah, done. Thank you.
I'm moving on. Instead of the way we used to do it with fire.
I just don't think that you say, "I'll see you next week," and then you stop talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll be in touch soon. And then, I've done that with people. I'll be in touch soon, and then I never am. But they're not people I was in touch with regularly anyhow.
So why did you do it, Drew? Was it just tired, just moving on, just
Doesn't know why.
you just quit?
I don't really know, and I guess maybe part of me just doesn't remember why.
Right.
It was a long time ago, but I just he was I'll say that he was a little annoying, after I'd gotten to know him. I'm one of those guys that I am definitely one of those guys that gets annoyed by people, after I've gotten to know him a little bit.
He was a radio guy, so there's
And
your...
he was annoying, and he was a little bit more of a DJ
Yeah.
than I was, or at least that I felt I was.
Oh, so you were jealous. I got you.
No, I just mean he
that's
was
fine.
more of a.
Sorry, man.
He was more of a DJ.
This jury member heard what this jury member heard.
Look, I'll be the first to say when I first started, loved radio, lived, breathed everything about it. But there came a point where, I don't know, maybe 10 years into it, it wasn't all I did. And I know exactly what you're talking about because I have some friends, that's it. They don't do anything but radio. They talk about...
Drew never said that this is the way the guy was. He said he found him a little annoying.
But I don't know. That's
I just
what
had this
it's...
That's what I'm
conversation
saying.
with
He
my
was
daughter tonight because my younger kids, label everything annoying. And I said, well, if you kind of feel that way, you can find that life in general is annoying everywhere. And she goes, yes, exactly.
Well, that's from...
And I go, I don't want to hear this. You need to change your perspective a little bit. Instead of everything is annoying.
I think our
This
kids
is
are annoying.
That's annoying. What? Your Highness. What can I do for you so it's not annoying? I mean, just for years and years and years, for 4 decades, I knew that just the sound of my voice annoyed a lot of people. Still does.
But a
Except
lot of...
on this podcast, because there would have to be a lot of people.
Right.
But you just have to fight through that, and you just, go right on through.
But a lot of people liked it, so you got to take the balance.
Well, that's what I mean. And so Drew doesn't connect with this guy. If he's a good guy, other people will connect with him.
Right.
So essentially, the bottom line is screw Drew.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's just wasting his time with Drew anyhow. Drew has other responsibilities, and obviously
I was
he's not
the
a very
asshole.
good friend.
Drew
So-
thinks the entire world revolves around
Right.
him, so that's what it is. He thinks this guy's fucking all bummed out because Drew's not paying attention to him.
No, he's
anymore.
probably relieved. God, I got rid of that annoying dickhead.
Well, no, I mean, he made many, 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 many attempts.
Oh, how many minis?
Wow,
Many.
that's a lot of.
Well,
men.
maybe that's
You know,
maybe that's what his psychologist told him to do after he expressed his hate for you.
And even years down the line, he would reconnect.
Sounds to me like a good person. Can I have his number?
Sounds like a guy to go out and have a beer with.
He's a good guy, and I am totally the asshole for having ghosted.
I'll be
the guy.
more than happy to meet with a guy. I'm sorry. I'd meet with him. Well, here we're going to absolve you of any guilt. Move on, man.
Yeah. You got us now.
See, sometimes life is like that. It'll just shake things out.
It's not the destruction of the friendship that even bothers me, because I'm old enough now that I don't even need it, right? I've got enough.
Well, then what is it?
It's that you can't have the adult conversation about it.
Well, I don't think you do that with a couple of guys. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You just kind of fall out. Come on. It's happened.
Is that how it happens?
That's the way things go.
People move on.
Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way things go. Some people don't. Sometimes you have a dalliance with
somebody's all right.
They last a few years and then you just grow apart.
Because this is a big internet thing. There's articles on ghosting and how.
But in this case, this wasn't. In my mind, this isn't a ghost. In my mind, there just wasn't enough there for you to maintain the friendship.
Yeah.
And you just didn't really want to. To me, that's not a ghost.
Not returning any of his phone calls is not ghosting, or replying to any text messages that I did. That's not ghosting.
A couple of guys. Not really.
Not really.
It's just, the guy's busy. Do like me. My excuse is always, I don't type.
Right.
It takes me forever to bang something out.
My thumb's too big to text. I keep hitting the wrong letters.
Yeah, how about this?
I don't have any hands.
I'm married and I got a bunch of little kids.
Right. That goes a long way.
When you got a bunch of little kids,
that is the reason I was ghosted.
Priorities change a lot.
Yeah. That's the best. That's not even an excuse. That's reality,
that's
man.
Truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is reality, dude.
I've lived that for a long time. I mean, it's true.
Oh boy, that's funny.
You should feel better.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better now yet?
I do. I feel pretty good.
Good.
I just think ghosting is an interesting thing. I think it's interesting when people do the things that they do. They all have reasons, and I even know what the reasons are. I think it's interesting after you've known somebody for a while that kind of happens to you. It's just an interesting social thing.
It's no different than once upon a time where you'd move away and your buddy or buddies would say, I'll be out there within 4 months to see you.
Yeah. Never see them.
And then that was back when long distance, you call people at night because daytime calls were expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're talking to people, yeah, man, I'm working at it. And then, they would never call you and they never came to see you. And so screw it.
I definitely feel like a lot of my friends, I make the effort to go see them. I haven't really had a lot that's visited me in Texas, especially those in California and those in like the Carolinas. It's always been, I'm the one that calls or I'm the one that visits, or it's like, oh man, it's so great to see you, blah, blah. I was like, well, motherfucker, this shit works both ways. So I think, Drew, you're okay.
I've always been the one to visit. Yeah, for sure.
I think you're fine. But yeah, I mean, I used to do that too, Lloyd. If I go back to North Carolina, I'd see different people.
Yeah.
And I realized, well, they're never coming to see me.
I mean, I'm there.
On a subsequent visit, well, I wouldn't see them. Plus, of course, I had kids in tow and a wife, and what was I going to do? Just escape?
Right. No, I get it.
Hang on, I'm going to go see Lloyd. I thought you hated that Lloyd guy.
I still make an effort when I go home to see some. I mean, I really do. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? I'll be here for 5 days. What do you say? Let's go grab a beer. Okay, man. Yeah, sure.
There you go.
And that's it, But I feel like I'm the one doing the work. It's kind of like they didn't reach out to me. It's like, well.
Get older, you just move on. If people are important to you, then you'll figure out a way. And so will they. It's mutual.
That's the deal. That's the bottom line, is that people are going to do what they want to do.
Right.
And they're going to make time for you if they want to make time for you. And that's the bottom line.
It's called true friendship.
Yeah. How many friends do you have that you talk to regularly? I've got, outside of you guys on the podcast, I have three other people. So literally that I talk to once a week. That I still consider that I'm saying I've been friends with more than 10, 15 years. I still have 3 friends I talk to once a week. So I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I'm good with that. There's some that I see once a year, once every 10 years, but there is about 3 people that I talk to at least once a week. So
I hate to break this to you, Lloyd, but pretty soon there's somebody in this named Drew Bennett that won't be
Yeah.
be around anymore.
Beaver Kool-Aid with
One of these
Lisle
days I'm
and
just gonna
Lloyd.
Ghost you motherfucker.
Or his SOP with this guy.
Yeah. It's like, fuck you L guys. Fuck Lisle. Fuck Lloyd. I'm a D. A D. I'm out.
I wrote this down the other day to bring up on the show because I thought this was pretty odd for a human being in the United States of America. It's been over 4 years since I've had a sofa.
A sofa.
Wow, really?
Couch, a sofa.
Well, what do you
That's kinda
have?
surprising.
You know how people crash on the sofa? They have people here, join me on the sofa.
What do you got? A love seat or what you got? A lazy boy or love seat?
I have a chair and I have a love seat.
Yeah.
And so if I crash, I kind of curl up like a shrimp
Ooh.
on part of the love seat and an ottoman.
I started to say, if you've been eating a lot, that love seat kind of turns into a chair for one. There's no
Right,
love
yeah.
there. That's just you.
Why, that's that kind of thing. Well, that's good. That's what's being practical, just in case. But I started thinking about it. I thought, I bet you I'm an extreme minority. Now, some people may not have a sofa currently, but for over 4 years,
I mean, where do you pass out at night when you drink too much?
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. I'm just on the love seat, or I curl up because you can't stretch out. So I shrimp it between the love seat and the ottoman.
You just kind of have to hang your legs over the end.
It's
man.
not. I think that's the reason I wrote it down, because I woke up and I thought, this is just stupid. It's been over 4 years. I don't have a sofa.
Well, you're not entertaining a lot of guests. If you
Yes,
started
this
doing
is
that.
true, but it would be nice to have a sofa when you just want to stretch out on the sofa,
Well, why don't you go buy one?
because I need to redo flooring in my house
Hmm.
and I want things to work with the updated flooring.
Oh, I got you.
But to have the updated flooring, I need to have money.
Right.
And I don't like used things that you sit on. Tables are okay,
Yeah.
but I'm picky about the other stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
We're from where once upon a time, and I know I've used that expression one other time in this podcast. We were where much of the furniture in this country was made.
Absolutely.
Now it's all made in China,
Right.
but so some of us are furniture snobs, and we just can't sit on anything,
I'm with you on that.
buy anything. So when my ex split a little over 4 years ago, she took the sofa, and the sofa came back to me, but she said, "You don't want that. It's worn out."
Ooh.
And she was right. So I tossed that thinking, well, within a year or so, I'll redo the flooring. I'll get some stuff, whatever. Of course, then I lost my job. And I've been in this holding pattern for 4 freaking years.
Yeah, I think you need to get a sofa, man. Every house needs a sofa.
That's one reason I don't entertain. There's no place to sit. I got a chair, a love seat, and my exercise bike.
Mm.
And because the exercise bike has a seat.
But if you are a furniture snob, you're going to drop a couple grand on a good sofa.
Way more than that, Lloyd. I'm sorry to say.
5,000, 4,000.
I mean, I was doing the pricey stuff when I made no money.
Yeah. So you're just going to hold out.
Well, at some point, if I hold out long enough, I won't have to have a sofa.
I've got a sofa downstairs and upstairs. So if you want to come over here and crash on mine anytime.
Double couched?
I'm a double couch guy.
Wow.
But that one upstairs was we've had it for about 15
one
years.
you didn't get rid of.
Yeah, it's one of those. But man, it's so soft. It's to the point now when you wake up at 3 a.m. and you crawl off of it, you kind of have to get on the floor on your knees first and then push yourself up because it's a little low to the floor.
When I was falling asleep on what I have, it looks like a crime scene. It's like, what the hell is that?
That's funny. I hope you get a sofa because every man needs a sofa. They really do.
Well, yeah, of course you do. I mean, that's important.
It's a part of
You
your
got
life.
to have a place to stretch out. I just couldn't believe it. 4 years.
I mean, I could give a shit about a recliner or a lazy boy. I've never really cared about those. I know my dad loved them. He always had a recliner. But for me, I'm like you, man. I'm like, let me stretch out on this couch over here. That's all I need. I can
It's like
sleep
saying,
here.
I've been sleeping on the floor for 4 years.
Right.
Why don't you get a bed? I don't know. I wanted to get a bed, but I wanted things to match, and I just haven't gotten it yet. So I'm sleeping on the floor. Maybe that's the reason I'm not attracting any women.
Well, it could be. But I have to say, I've probably spent more better nights sleeping on the couch than I have in a bed. I can promise you that.
Oh, yeah. I
And-
slept on the couch last night and the night before.
Yeah.
So you guys are bragging. Look, Drew, brag.
Yeah.
Because you can do that and I can't. It's like saying I can pee upright.
Right.
And you're rubbing it in my face.
Is it really bragging to say that you're sleeping on the couch every night?
Yeah.
Most people are
For
going like,
those of us that don't have one.
yeah, most people are going like, Drew passed out on the couch last night is what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've been there too. I know that. That's what I'm saying. The couch is a necessity.
I haven't had hot water in 4 years. I haven't bathed in 4. I realize I haven't bathed in 4 years.
Bathe as in taking a bath, or bathe as bathe like you haven't washed.
Do you think maybe that's why you went and to get that girl that glass of wine? You came back.
Yeah,
And she wasn't there exactly because I stunk.
body odor.
You know, my body stunk, but I kept my funk.
Yeah,
All right?
it's in those endorphins.
That could have been it.
Yeah,
The woman
Maybe
who
that's what
walked
it
on
is.
me. My God, this guy is foul. I gotta get out of here.
So why no couch? I mean, there's never like a Saturday where you were like, I think I'm going to try to go maybe find one of the
Well, I told you
garage
because
sales.
I need to redo the flooring in that room first.
and I can promise you, when John drives by Rooms to Go, he's like, "Yeah, fuck you, people. I'm never going to shop
Why?
there."
But still,
Because he's a fucking furniture snob. I know exactly where he's coming
Do
from.
the floor.
He's a furniture
I see
snob.
Rooms to Go and I think shit being sold.
Right.
Shit for sale.
I knew
That's
it.
right.
I knew it.
But it's been
No,
4
what
years.
I'm saying is because you have your, you just don't buy, usually you've got stuff kind of going on in the room. I don't want to just stick something in there and then I go, now I got to decide on that. I want to redo the room. And then after I redo the room,
Then you start
then
adding
I
the
get
accessories.
furniture that works in there
Yeah. Man, you are high.
instead of the other way around. The reason why is I'm sure it's faulty logic, but that's the reason why I haven't had a sofa for 4 years.
What kind of flooring are you doing? Are you doing like hardwood flooring or tile or what?
I don't know because see, I got carpet. I got 15-year-old carpet in there now.
Yeah. Well, don't sleep on that.
That needs to be gone, but I need to get somebody to help me out here.
What you need to do is find you an
I need a
interior
woman
designer.
who's a designer,
Right.
has that kind of touch.
That's what I'm saying. You need an interior designer. Look for that on Match.com.
Lloyd, am I an idiot?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, don't answer that, but I have been for 3 years.
It's like I'm
Not
a
an idiot.
man.
Been looking for that little extra thing because a lot of women like to decorate.
Yes. I had a girlfriend in Virginia, and I swear, dude, it just looked like your typical male apartment. She had such a great vision. She could take a sofa or a love seat and kind of cat-a-corner it in the corner and move shit around. I was like, wow, this looks great. And I would have never been able to put that together. Some people just have that talent. And if you could find that, Lisle, you're good to go. You get a sofa in no time. I bet you'd have one by the weekend.
No, my luck would be someone who just thinks the Pier 1 is all that.
Well, you could get. Yeah. Well, she did make me get rid of my cinder block and 2x4, stereo entertainment center. So I had to get rid of that. That was the first thing that went.
Those
crates,
that would be an industrial piece.
milk crates, they had to go. I was like, but they look so good in my dorm room. She's like, yeah, but you're 33 now,
That's what I need to find somebody and work this angle. It gives us a chance to do things together. We work on selects. We go look at furniture. We get things down. It's all there, and I get it the way I need it, and then I ghost her.
Yeah. Well, I the only thing I can say is if you guys shop at IKEA, don't ghost her before you put that shit together, because I'm telling you.
Oh, no. I'm not going to do it when it hasn't been. No, it's got to be right because we're going to celebrate how good it all looks, and then I'm going to ghost her.
Right.
That's great.
That's the way to go about it.
Right. I said, no, I don't need you anymore. Now I need a cleaning lady.
You guys have all been to a Pier 1, right?
Yeah.
They all smell the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Like
they do.
every time you go in, it's the same Pier 1 smell.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter what part of the country you're in, and it doesn't matter what decade it is. A Pier 1 always smells like a fucking Pier 1.
Do you think it's candles or incense or wicker, or what do you think it is?
So I worked at a Pier 1.
Okay.
When I was 20 years old.
Right.
And I that was the first question I had when they gave me the job of hauling Papasan chairs up to the top shelf.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was sitting here thinking about what is that chair that they sell at Pier 1?
Where is the Pier 1 spray? And the guy goes, what are you talking about? I go, the spray or whatever the fuck it is that you guys pump through the air here to make it smell like a Pier 1.
Right.
And he said, oh no, we don't have anything like that. And I was like, come on, man, you're fucking with me. Of course you do. That every Pier 1 smells the same. Even when I was a kid, I'm 20 years old now. Where is it? And he's like, no, it's an amalgamation. It's a blend of all the shit they have in the store.
Right. Rattan and
yep.
And the fabrics and all the scented items.
Where was most of the stuff from? Was it
most
Thailand?
Most of the stuff that they get, it's from South America.
South America?
Yeah.
Man, it does smell the same, though. You're right.
It was a bitch, to have to get the boxes that they ship to you and tear them open and pull out, boxes of pinon and shit.
Lisle, what do you think about a Papasan chair, man? I mean, that's not a couch, but still you wouldn't have to lay like a shrimp on a love seat.
What did I just say about Pier 1? Any Mamazon chairs, Papasan chairs.
What about a futon? What about a futon?
How about a beanbag chair? I had
for that kind of crap. That's how I met my first wife when I first started working at KISS in 1983. I said, I think I need to get I had no furniture. I had nothing. I mean, I moved in my Volkswagen down to Texas, and I said, I think I want to get a futon. And I don't know if at the time, I don't think she knew what that was, because it's San Antonio.
Yeah.
It's behind the curve a little bit. That wasn't like a bunch of places to find a futon.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of something that would be totally functional where I could sit on it and sleep on it.
Well, you got a couch and a bed all built into one.
I went there, and so now I'm past the futon stage.
Maybe you should go back to the futon. I'm sure they're better now than they were back in the 80s. You could find a really nice futon you could sleep on.
Got a real nice one.
It's a couch. It's.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I got to have something that's got enough space for me to, like, some kind of a hole or something for my Yeti.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've had experience with sleeping on a futon recently.
I hate them.
And they're not so bad.
I hate them.
I used to sleep on one whenever I went to see my friend in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So
I don't like them.
Within the last year, I've been on the futon.
Two things remind me of my youth is ramen noodles and futons, because that's all the fuck I ate in college. And then I had to sleep on a futon pretty much my entire 20s, moving around in radio, because that's all the fuck I could afford. I couldn't afford a bed, so I had a futon.
Exactly.
So,
and
that's your go-to for everything.
Right.
You'd always have the futon, and then you would have the circle chair with the circle pillow in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They always came with the futon.
Not in our day, Drew.
Like the dish chair or whatever it's called. It's like looks like a bowl. You sit in it.
Like a beanbag chair you're talking about?
No, man. It's like I don't know. It's like half of a sphere, and it has a pillow in it, a big round pillow.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's made out of wicker. You know what I'm talking about?
I had a girlfriend that had one of those.
Yeah.
I tried to get her to hang it from the ceiling so I could put a hole in the bottom of it.
Sitting there talking about when he's talking about the Papasan chair.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Papasan
It's
chair?
the Papasan chair.
I mean, that's what he's talking about. Since you talked about the melange, the special scented Pier 1, I can't get it out of my brain now.
I know, man.
It's in your head.
It's one of those things. All you have to do is just say it, and you can smell it.
Takes you right there to it.
So if you want to, I'll give you a pro tip. If you want your house to smell like a Pier 1, go buy a bunch of shit from Pier 1.
It will.
You could also
Pier 1.
You could also go and get what they call pinon wood. And then you can burn pinon wood, and it smells. It's the closest thing you can get to Pier 1 in your house.
Yeah, pinyon pine. Sure. I got you, man. But that chair you're thinking about, that's the Papasan chair that Lloyd was talking about.
Do you guys like incense at all?
No, I went into a Dallas bar to see one of my friends.
Yeah.
And I walk in, and she goes, "Oh, hey, here's Drew." And she knows the guy behind the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Hey, Gary, this is my buddy Drew. He's from Austin." And the guy goes, "Oh, I thought it smelled like Nag shampoo when you walked in." I was like, man, fuck you. But he's right, because it smells like shit.
I'm not an incense guy. And I have to say, my better half right now, she loves it. I mean, she wants the shit for her birthday. I mean, it's an easy gift. You can go out and buy incense at Book People or wherever the fuck you can. She loves that shit. She burns it by the pool, in the house. And I'm just kind of like, I tolerate it. And I guess I've got used to it now. But I got to be honest with you, man. I am just not an incense guy. Just doesn't do.
When was the last time you bathed, pal?
Oh man, I just don't like it. I'm just not an incense guy.
For people who don't take showers.
Well,
Maybe
I mean,
she's trying to tell you something.
No, I mean the house is clean. She just likes the way the shit's. And now the kids, like Ava's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna light an incense." I'm like, "Do you really need to?" Yeah. She likes it. Now it's fucking going down to them.
Well, when you're 18, you're all into incense, right?
Well,
I mean, that's the thing. Incense and candles.
My wife is in her 40s. I mean, fuck. It's like,
yeah, but incense is a lot stronger than candles, isn't it?
Oh, big time, man. And it's,
I mean, candles put something light, kind of light in the air. Incense, it just takes over.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like, it's masking. Like you said, it's masking something, but I mean, there's no bad smells in the house, but she just loves it. I'm just
You're supposed to light it to mask your consumption of marijuana, Lloyd.
Yeah, well, I guess I need to smoke more.
What it is. She's like, "I'm going to burn some incense, Dad."
Well, yeah. By the way, who are you talking to, Ava? Old Drew checked in.
Right.
And by the way, Drew, Ava's been asking me a lot about the Jewel lately. I want to tell you. And I'm like, how do you know about the Jewel? Dad, seriously, everyone knows about the Jewel. I was like, I learned about the Jewel on Beaver Kool-Aid from Drew. That's where I learned about it at. All right. So.
No. I'll tell you who told you about the Jewel. It wasn't me. John brought up the Jewel.
Was it John? I don't remember. I just remember hearing about the Jewel on Beaver Kool-Aid. I'm like, and now Ava's like, she gives me the full breakdown of the Jewel. She just went to.
That's because John's daughter, she knows about the Jewel.
Okay, that's right.
Don't blame me.
Yeah,
I'm sending. John, do you have your phone?
I'm ignorant. Yeah.
You got your phone?
Yeah.
I just sent you guys the most badass incense burner you've ever seen.
This works well for Beaver Kool-Aid.
Look at
yeah, look at that.
Look at this incense burner, you guys.
Well, there you go. That looks more like I would love to smoke pot out of that thing.
Mermaid ceramic incense burner.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Where's that available?
But the great part about it is that the smoke comes out of her nipples.
Yeah, that's the best. That's awesome.
And like into a bowl, and then it goes down some stairs.
That is awesome. I think we just found our picture again.
Runs down. It's almost like the bowl made of leaves.
Can we use this on the podcast photo for this week?
Yeah, will we get in trouble?
I don't know, man. Good God.
Listen,
that's
you
beautiful.
can buy this at wish.com. We should post it. It's only $16.
Well, I know what I'm going to get her for. Her birthday's on the 4th of July, so now you've completely taken care of it. So
she's going to love it.
Thanks, Drew.
You know what you pair with this incense burner is one of those oil lamps from the 1970s. You guys remember those?
Yes,
they had
of course.
And the oil would drip down the wires. What happened to those? Those are badass. We should bring those back.
You got to bring them back, man.
Well, that's a special. I wish that if that was made of chocolate, I'd really.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, they're not going to sell that at Pier 1, are they?
No, not at all.
Won't find that there.
Right. I can say, hey, I don't have a sofa, but look at what I burn incense at.
Do you guys have one listener that really stands out in your career? I mean, one that. I know we've had some quirky listeners in our life, but do you have one listener that you go like, wow, that's probably my biggest fan? Do you guys have one of those?
No, nobody really ever liked me on the air.
How about you, Lisle? I mean, did you have one guy or girl that was just like, man, just adored you no matter what you did? It was all good.
Yeah, I was sitting there trying to think. I don't think I had an ultimate fan, but I think there was a group of ultimate fans.
Right.
Those are the people that would make sure that they got you something for your birthday.
Yeah.
I used to beg for Christmas gifts every year, and these people would come across with some really good stuff. Yeah, they were the ultimate fans. They knew everything about you. They paid attention.
Well, you talked about how creepy it kind of was for some of these fans that, ask, hey, how's Taylor? Or, hey, it's good to see Taylor graduate. What's she going to do next year? Some of those people that you've never met face to face, just kind of have that internet relationship with. Well, I had this listener in Little Rock, Arkansas, who listened to my countdown. Her name was Martha Rose. And from 2003 until 2017, she wrote down in a spiral notebook, actually several spiral notebooks, all 30 songs, who the co-host was, when it debuted. This went on from 2003 to 2017, right? So she used to call me on the toll-free line there, and she would call me out when I would make mistakes on the air. So I started nicknaming her Martha the Statistician. And so I didn't hear from her like earlier this year. And then her daughter called me and said, hey, she passed away. And then she goes into her house and she finds, hundreds and hundreds of pages of every countdown where she would, say, well, this song was the fastest to ever get to number one, or this co-host has been on 14 times since the show started in 2000, right? So my 18th anniversary of the show is coming up July 4th, so I'm going to run a show on July 8th. And I thought I'd pay tribute to her, and I just wanted you guys to hear a little piece of some of the stats she would throw my way. Now, this is a person who listened from 2003 to 2017 and wrote down everything. I hope her daughter sends me photos so I can post these, but this is a little piece of Martha I'm going to play on the show, so check this out.
Hey, it's Martha in Little Rock. I listen to 100.3 The Edge. That's a four-way tie for number one at 14 weeks. Nickelback, How You Remind Me in 01. Stained, It's Been a While in 01. Disturbed, Inside the Fire in 08. And See Their Country Song in 2011. Because I'm constantly writing first song R30 on these charts. And in the last couple of years, you've had so many new bands. It's been so incredible. So, thank you. Love the show.
So there you go. That's Martha, the statistician. I mean, and so I've got all these calls that I've saved from her that, I mean, there's, 13, 14 segments I'm going to run on the show. And some of the stuff she throws out there is pretty amazing. I wish I had the pictures of the spirals, because I can only imagine that she would, write these notes about each artist. And she would call me out when I fucked up. She's like, no, that artist has never been number one. Blah, blah, blah. And she knew. She's like, well, you kind of stumped me tonight, so I'm going to have to go through 700 pages to figure out what the right answer is. She was dedicated. That is the ultimate listener to me. And so I feel like it's worth dedicating a 3-hour show in her memory, because I've never had a listener like that before.
In memory of Sarah Huckabee Sanders?
She does sound a little bit like Sarah.
It's the Arkansas thing.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But that's Martha.
Well, that's great. That's great for you, Lloyd. Yeah. That'll be great.
Yeah. So wanted
that's incredible, man.
Give her a little love. Yeah.
That's some dedication. I mean, she's boy, talk up. I mean, you say statistician. That's like a understatement.
Yeah.
Somebody sitting there writing the songs down and stuff. It's not like she had a download of your,
she wrote all handwritten. And the PD from the radio station called me and said she lived by herself and she loved music so much. And she was, she won a lot of tickets from the station, but she didn't have transportation a lot of times. And literally, whoever the jock was going out to a show, if it was like the radio station sponsored show, they would drive out to her house and pick up the van and take her to the show because she loved music so much.
That's great.
And this is like, we're talking a woman in her 60s. So that's, for an active rock radio station, that's pretty amazing. So wanted to give her a little love today, man.
Bless her family's heart.
Yeah.
Thank God she didn't know the real you.
Right. That's exactly.
So my first job in radio was running Casey's Top 40.
Yeah.
On vinyl.
Yeah.
There were 7 segments.
Right.
Segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, segment 4 were all on one side. And then on the other side of segment 1 was segment 5.
Right.
If anybody who's listening can imagine that. So you got 4 or 5 records and you got segment 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the other side of segment 1 is segment 5. On the other side of segment 2 is segment 6, and so on.
How did you ever keep up with it? Because it wasn't like
Well, you
flipping it
just do.
over.
I mean, you have to keep them in a stack, right? And you have to know every week that, segment 1 on the other side is segment 7.
yeah.
And then, this was back in the day where you ran them on vinyl records.
Yeah.
This was before the CDs. I would do midnight until 6 on the air.
Yeah.
And we're talking, I'm 15 years old. And I would do midnight to 6 and then on Saturday night, Sunday morning. And then the morning guy would come in from 6 to 10, and he was always pissed off that he had to do the show at all. Because he's a morning guy, and he's got to do the solo Sunday morning show. He was pissed every week. And so he would come in, and he would get, high in the back of the station and do his show, right? And so I would sleep on the couch in the lobby for 4 hours.
Again, Drew. God.
I was sleeping. We had a real nice couch, and I would sleep on it. And so he would wake me up at like 9:55 and go, "Hey man, I set you up and you're good to go, and I'll see you later." And so we became friends. And one morning he shows up and he says, "Hey, you want to go in the back, smoke some weed?" And I just want to be a part of the scene. Right. I'm 15. I've never smoked pot in my life. And I say, yeah, I'll go back there with you. So we go back and we smoke some pot in the back of the station. And then we go back up. Well, man, I mean, I was obliterated, right? So stoned. And it's 10 a.m. And he's like, okay, you think you got this? And I'm like, yeah. And so he leaves, and I queue up first segment of Casey's Top 40. So when you play the segment, you got two kind of segments on each side of the vinyl.
Yeah.
And it'll go, and he'll say, "But coming up next, song number 40," and then it goes to Casey's Top 40, and then it plays 2 commercials that are national commercials, and then you play your 2 local commercials on what were called carts, but for anyone who doesn't know, they're kind of like 8-track tapes.
And you got 1 minute to queue up that next segment.
You got 1 minute to, yes, exactly. I am as stoned as a gourd, and we finished the first segment. Coming up next, song number 38. Casey's Top 40. I hit the first spot, Gold Bond medicated powder, and I flip the record over, and I cue it up. We finish with the DD7 commercial, Casey's Top 40. Now we're down to song number 2.
Oh,
and I'm like,
so you jumped to 2. Well, the good thing is that Casey's not alive today, because we'd probably get something like this.
So today we receive a letter from a guy named Patrick, who was ghosted by his friend named Drew. He writes, "Drew was a dick. He ghosted me and I never heard from him again. What should I do, Casey?" Well, thanks for your letter. Here's your long distance dedication. Hey, Drew, go fuck yourself.
Love it.
It's good times.
Love it.
I will go to your party and I will tear it up.
Really?
Beaver Kool-Aid
Get it hard.
with Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew.
Make it like a man.
So go ahead, stick your head up your ass.